Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and I love this book. And I should probably tell you why. So today, I am reviewing Unknown Horizons by Casey White, the first in the Halfway to the Home series. And as you can tell from the cover, it's definitely some sci-fi. I love this cover. This is actually the relaunched cover of this series. The author that I was talking to on the Discord server for in December mentioned that the first one sales weren't that great, and so she was trying out a new thing, and I really think this one is better, that it works a lot better. And when I saw the synopsis for it on the in December Discord, I was like, hey, you want a review video, you just let me know. So she sent me this, and I'm super happy she did. Now, if you have been around my channel for a hot minute, you know that I love space operas. They're probably like my favorite subgenre of sci-fi, probably my favorite genre in general. So I was really excited to jump into this one, and it does not disappoint at all. The first thing that I noticed is our protagonist, Sam. She has been kidnapped for, well, she doesn't know how long in the beginning, from her homeworld of Earth, and is being held by aliens. And she doesn't really know exactly what they want, but she knows they've kidnapped a lot of other races of aliens and test them gruesomely. So both to avoid the more extreme testing and to keep Earth safe, she decides to play dumb. Basically makes them think that she is like worthless and fails all their puzzles to make sure that they don't think that either A, she needs to be tested further, or B, that Earth is full of interesting creatures that they need to investigate further. In her mind, she's keeping both herself and Earth safe. However, she may have played her part a little bit too well and finds out that she kind of has run out of time, and it is time to escape. And so, like, within the first, 50 pages of this book, you have this daring alien, prison break from these evil, slavers, essentially. And so right away, there's there's explosions and fighting, and right out of the gate, I loved it. I love that kind of action right up front. Sam is very resourceful and is very knowledgeable and very quick on her feet. She's definitely that kind of earnest protagonist you root for. And then there was that moment. There were multiple times over the course of the story where I actually went back to the Discord server to message the author and call her sadistic and a bitch because you can't do that to me. But she did it. She did that to me. So I don't want to go into too much detail because it was a big moment. But moving on, this book, it hit all of my favorite tropes done well. We've got the very gruff, but you can tell he cares side character, Sorrow, at least that's how I'm pronouncing his name, who's also maybe low-key a psychopath. The way he's described is fantastic because he has the body size of almost a human toddler, but he's so ultra dense in makeup that him walking will make the floor vibrate, and he can punch through walls. So he looks like a psychotic little toddler, but has that sort of gruff, I'm too old for this shit, old man mentality. And those two things together, just, they shouldn't have worked well, but they did. And in general, I loved that the aliens in here felt alien. I feel like a lot of the space operas that I've read in recent memory have been either all humans or altered humans or aliens that were basically humans, just slightly different. And in this case, it's no, this is an alien that basically looks like a giant human-sized bug, and here's a kind of bird person, and now look, 4 arms and scales. They felt a lot more like aliens, but they weren't all random one-off side characters. They were all integral to the story, which brings me into my next point, found family. Now, I am a huge fan of found family. It's my favorite trope. So my favorite trope and my favorite genre. I think I was just biased toward loving this book from the beginning, but that's me. It's built very well because it avoids the pitfalls that a lot of found family books have, wherein they want to jump right into the found family being there immediately and they all care for each other. In this case, it's a lot of the prisoners joining together to be like, hey, we are all each other has. We have to band together to survive. And then as a result of surviving together and avoiding the Nalottok and other dangers that are in space, because every space opera has side quests that inevitably go wrong, they start to see how much they can rely on each other and how much they go together, and those relationships start forming, and I love it. It's like, is slow burn found family a thing? That, at any rate, like, you can see this started because they literally just needed to survive, and they needed each other to do that, and then in the midst of surviving, they start realizing how much they like surviving together. So I loved that so much. This book, like I mentioned before, does the space opera thing where they kind of like low-key have a goal in mind, but there's constant distractions and side quests and random dangers that come up that they need to tackle. So if you're one of those people that wants like a plot that moves quickly towards the end goal, I mean, space operas in general probably aren't your thing. This is very much a case of that one thing turns into a whole 50-page scene, but I love it. There were some fantastic fight scenes. Sam is fantastic in that she's not an ultimate fighting machine. You know, was just a regular human girl, but she has her skills. And I don't want to spoil it because it was so delightful, the reveal of her abilities and things that the Nalatok had done to her that opened up a whole new door. And if you've read this book, that's also a double entendre, if you know what I'm talking about. But her abilities and the things she can do were so unique a concept that I haven't seen in any other sci-fi. And I love sci-fi. I love space operas. The special ability she has in this book was so different, and I loved it. I hope it becomes a trope, like not Casey White. I don't mean to have anyone steal your thunder, but I feel like there's so much to unpack there that it would be a lot of fun if other like sci-fi writers could take it and run with it. I just loved that so much. The ending, near the end, there was another moment where I had to angrily angrily message Casey and be like, "You bitch." And she laughed it off because at this point, if I don't message an author at one point, or at least feel the urge to message an author and be like, "You bitch," then I know it's not going to be on my all-time faves. But the more I feel the urge to message the author, "You bitch," the higher it is. This is like, it's on my top list. This ranks up with Lindsay Buroker's Star Nomad and Fallen Empire series. This ranks up with Star Mark Rising by Shami Stovall. This ranks among some of my favorite space operas. So, if you are a space opera aficionado, check this one out. The ending in itself was that perfect bit of low-key, hopeful, but also bittersweet, and all the feels. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's my favorite. It had all of the emotions of a space opera that a space opera should, but a lot of new sci-fi concepts that I love. There was one bit with an AI that I thought was super inventive that I loved. I just loved this. The only thing, and I was like racking my mind, is there any like one thing I could be like, maybe? The only thing I can think of is there is some like typo and like grammatical errors. It's not like an every other page thing, but just enough you could be like, that's not where the quotation marks go, but nothing to take you out of the story. And that's an easy, copy edit. So beyond that, I just loved this. My heart was racing at certain points. It was breaking at other points. And Casey, you know what part that is. I would highly recommend it for anyone that loves space operas. And as usual, I try to figure out, would this be a good jump in for people who are new to sci-fi? And no. This is more sci-fi-esque than even a lot of space operas are, with all the new and inventive aspects of it. So this is not necessarily the best jumping off point if you're brand new to sci-fi, especially if you're brand new to like having alien characters, because alien characters tend to be even weirder than most fantasy characters. So if you don't do a lot with sci-fi, this will be a lot of sci-fi to take on. But if you love space operas like I do, you need to check this out so much. New favorite. I don't know if it's on my top list of 2019 yet, but it's definitely on my top list of space operas. And as for the rest, I don't know. We'll see. So if you couldn't tell, I gave this book 5 stars. I forgot that part. If you are an indie author and you would like a video review, please let me know. I will have my email down in the description below. I will also have my review policy down there. Please give that a read through before you send the email. It answers a lot of questions and saves us a lot of time. And with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.